Welcome back from that short break. Now, the Akufo-Addo-led government says it will use the ranching system to end the continuous conflict between farmers and Fulani herdsmen. The Ministers of Agriculture and National Security revealed this at a program to launch the Ghana Cattle Ranching Project that is under the auspices of the two ministries. Thankfully, we have the chairman of the Ghana Cattle Ranching Project Committee, and he's also the Agric Minister's Special Advisor on Livestock, Dr. Opon Anani. Thank you very much for your time, Doctor.
Thank you.
Doctor, this issue of Fulani herdsmen conflicting with, farmers and even residents of some communities in which they live has been worrying for a number of years. What would you say is the cause of this problem, and how is this project addressing it?
Well, thank you. The Fulanis, mainly from the northern countries, the Saharan area, do come to the southern countries such as Ghana every year because they need pasture, feed for their livestock. And again, they also want to get away of areas where they are infested with diseases. So they do come here basically for pasture, that's their feed, and for water. Yeah. And over the years, we realize that it creates some problems because they get in here through all sorts of routes, and they use all sorts of corridors. And in the process of moving their cattle, they tend to create problems, destroying crops, water bodies, and so on. And that's the reason why the two ministers, that is National Security and for Ministry of Food and Agriculture, came together to set up a committee that will come out with a lasting solution to be implemented that will be once and for all put a stop to the problems.
Right. So when we are talking about this, what are those specific elements in there within that project that will put a stop to this menace?
Well, first of all, the cattle are supposed to enter the country through specific routes, which they are not doing at the moment. So we are going to insist that they come through the routes and they will be registered. And then, secondly, they will not be moving around randomly, but they will undertake specific routes, corridors, to reserves where pastures will be made available to them, water will be made available, and also veterinary intervention if necessary.
But how do we make sure, there are so many different entry routes into the country, how do we practically make sure that all the cattle entering the country go through these specific routes and go to these ranches?
Well, we are engaging them, talking to them, talking to their leaders, and also create awareness among all of them, so that even in the countries of origin, so that by the time they get to our borders, they know exactly where to go. All that they are looking for is feed and water. So if they are directed through specific routes, they would take them out.
And how do we intend to finance this project?
Well, the government would finance it. And again, we expect stakeholders to come in. Establishment of the grazing lands or reserves, as one may call it, could be a public-private partnership. Provision of feed could also be private partnership, because the animals will need feed. And there are all sorts of ways of making feed. Hay can be done by just cutting the grasses and other forages and then drying them wilting to be fed at the time of need. There will be silage preparation, and also specific plants will be planted. And this all will be, we expect it to be a private sector undertaking, because they will be beneficial to the private sector.
Right. Do you have any final comments for us?
Well, this has been a problem. The transhumans cattle entering Ghana has been a problem over the years. But it's not only them. We also have, these are cross-border transhumans. We also have indigenous cattle in the country, which also undertake the same, moving from one place to other, for water and feed, especially during the dry season. But if they know where to go to, they will go there and they'll be peaceful. There wouldn't be any problem. There will be peace. There wouldn't be any problems among them, the herdsmen, and then the crop farmers.
Right, thank you very much, Dr. Poanani. He's the head of the committee on the cattle ranching project that is being introduced.